Hi guys, it's me, Charlie Cox. Welcome to another episode of Bomb Squad Talks. Hi, I'm Tanner Richard Kraft, your host and master of ceremony for Bomb Squad Born Again. I guess that's what we're going to call this. And today I have two guests. James, introduce yourself. Our audience is probably familiar with you.
Unfortunately. Hi, I'm James the Nerd.
And we have a new special guest joining us for the first time.
Hi, I'm Haley 1987.
And if you couldn't tell from this, we're talking about the newest Marvel Disney Plus show, Daredevil Born Again. Before we start talking about these first two episodes overall, I'd say this has been a long time coming. We're all here because we were fans of the original show. How excited were you guys for Daredevil to come back? James, we'll start with you. How excited were you?
Excitement level was like about here, but physical demonstration.
There we go. I knew that's why he wanted me to ask that question. This is like the third time he's done this joke.
Fucking stop!
Jesus Christ.
How did you even manage that, James?
Woo!
Oh, that's why he had the confetti. He was testing it.
Oh my god. Honestly, kind of a banger. I can't lie.
I love it. It was
Bro needs
delayed
to
too.
hit the gym. He can't even rip the shirt all the way.
Okay, shut the fuck up. I super glued the top and bottom because I didn't know where I was going to rip it from, and the glue is too strong.
Why would you glue it?
Because I need a tear. Every time I've done this bit, I have a tear in it already.
Oh my god.
God bless you,
You're just buying
James.
new...
Yeah, excitement. Pretty good. Pretty high.
Yeah, pretty high. Okay. Haley,
Right,
how excited were you?
I almost gave up. I don't have children, but I almost gave up my firstborn to get it rebooted, and then it got rebooted, and now I don't have any children anymore. So safe to say, I'm really fucking excited. I have my Born Again t-shirt on. I don't need to rip it on camera because I'm normal. I got my Daredevil Funkos, so I love the show with all of my heart. So I was super, super excited.
Same. I'm a big fan of Daredevil, the show in general. I love it. Mm-hmm. So much. All the Marvel Netflix stuff I was really fond of, but Daredevil was the best of it all. I was bummed out when it got canceled, and I was really excited when they announced that Daredevil was coming back in the MCU. Then I first started hearing things about the first iteration of the show, and I got really nervous. Then they restarted creative development, and I got excited again. And that was fun. Yeah, I'm so excited to dare the devil the dare. Murdoch the
Matt, my devil
Matt the Murdoch. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, I guess we can get right into these first two episodes then, one at a time. But before we really dive into it, Haley, you were lucky enough to see it before us two, weren't you?
I sure was. So I got the opportunity to go to the premiere. My friend got invited, and he invited me as his plus one, obviously, because I love this show. I never shut the fuck up about this show. So the premiere was so much fun. I wore a red dress, obviously. I got so many compliments on it. The security, they're my ops. But Charlie did see me. He got really excited to see me there. So
Haley and Charlie have been photographed multiple times. I've seen a clip of you on The View when Charlie brought you up and you were like, "That's me."
I had no idea that was even going to be brought up. So I just went because I'm like, oh, they're promoting the show. I got to go, obviously. And the hosts were like, you went to New York Comic Con in a disguise. And he's like getting all bashful and shit. And he was like, yeah, I went as Bluey for my children. And someone was like, did anybody recognize you there? And he goes, there was an Elektra. I'm sitting front fucking row, mind you. And I go, oh, that was me.
Did nobody recognize
No, a couple people did, yeah. A couple people did.
Those are diehards.
There was an Electra, someone who was dressed... Oh, she's there! Wait, what? On the escalator? Yeah. Sorry.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
we took a photo together.
She made me super fans. And I understand that wasn't the only time you went incognito at Comic-Con.
And I was wearing my Apple Watch, right? My heart rate spiked up to 137 beats per minute.
Hot damn.
It was horrible. It was so bad. And I'm just sat there, I'm just like, what the fuck? And I looked to my friends, I was like, did he even see me beforehand? And then they had me explain the entire situation and everything. And then when they were leaving the stage, Charlie made note to like dip down and say goodbye to me specifically. And I was like, I love you so much. You're my best friend.
Look, yeah, you two are practically besties. James is seething with jealousy, I can tell.
I met him once, and I have a signed Funko Pop.
I live in St. Louis, Missouri.
Right. Near Comic-Con when?
Money.
So true.
Let's start with the first episode, which was Heaven's Half Hour.
Well, it's not a half an hour long. 0 out of 10.
Booting you from the fucking call. I swear to God, I'm sick of you. James, you know what? No, just for that, just for that stunt play, I'm gonna put you on the spot. What did you think of episode 1?
A little bit of history. I saw set photos. I knew Foggy was a goner. I was trying to not believe it. Yeah, I knew our dearest Franklin Percy Nelson was gonna die. Yeah, it kind of sucks because like they hyped it up so much of like, we're back, everything is back to normal. We undid our no, it's you got rid of them immediately. You shipped Karen off to Timbuktu and you got Foggy so you can still play the episodes that you filmed without the good show. But like, it was so excellent of a first episode back of like establishing a new tone while keeping the old one, as well as just starting right off the bang with a oneer. Like right off the bat, like, no, this is the same show. Like we're here, we're doing it. It was a phenomenal scene and a great opening, especially since I just binge watched it. I wasn't sure about how much Bullseye would be in it, and just to start right off the bat with him was a pretty good continuation. Yeah,
that's probably the only bit of Bullseye we're probably gonna get. Yeah, no,
so I think
killing Foggy right off the bat. I knew it was coming because everyone and their fucking mom wouldn't shut up the fuck up about it the next day. Well, I knew it was happening going in because I'm more plugged in than I'd like to be with the leaks and stuff.
Yeah.
And but even then, after that, because I didn't watch these episodes until Friday, because I watched the show with my dad and his and I's thing. Or it's Friday. We hang out every Friday to watch something. So like Wednesday morning, all over Twitter, Instagram, everyone just talking about Foggy dead, Foggy dead, Foggy dead. And God bless James. On like Thursday morning, James posted something about Foggy being dead to his story. I watched it. At that point, I already got it spoiled. 20 minutes after I watched it, he texts me, "Don't look at my story."
I did try my hardest to not like post any spoilers about Foggy's death on Twitter or like Instagram or anything. Because I withheld that information for a fucking week. Before it happened. I withheld that information for a fucking week, and I'm literally just like, everybody needs to see this episode so I can talk about it, and the way that they just offed Foggy in the most disrespectful manner.
Immediately, no less.
Disrespectful. Bullseye is the most disrespectful villain ever. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about you or your feelings, and he also, like, introducing him, putting the pin in the wall with the fly, and then immediately adjusting something back to normal, like he's done in season 3, where he launched a knife at a picture frame.
Oh yeah!
Oh my
God!
On his way out. Karen's. This girl has never had a peaceful day in her fucking life.
Oh.
Every day of her life has been misery.
I feel so bad for her. I'm like, my girl, you deserve so much better. Like, your dad kicks you out of your home in Vermont because you get into a car accident with your brother because that was just an accident, and obviously she still blames herself for that. And then now one of your best friends is dead. You lost your boyfriend basically because Matt was fucking around with Elektra because he didn't know how to handle 2 ladies at once. And I'm just like,
couldn't be me,
dude. Just be in a polyamorous relationship with the both of them. God damn it. And I just felt so bad for her. And I told Deborah this, and I was like, I love how Karen just, like, whenever something goes awry, she just fucks off and leaves. And, like, she's me. She's so me in that sense, where something goes slightly wrong. I'm like, I'm going to move. I'm going to change my name. And I love her for that.
It's very real.
Also, like, I'm seeing theories online that Foggy may or may not be actually dead, and, like, they might be following a storyline in the comics where he's in witness protection.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if I believe that, because we all heard that heartbeat, right? We all heard the same heartbeat. So, and we saw him die on screen. But also we saw Elektra die on screen, and they brought her back.
The hand brings Foggy back. Foggy's the new Black Sky.
Now, here's what I think. If they're going to go into the direction of bringing Foggy back, I do think there is a comic line, a relatively recent comic storyline they could go in the direction of. The name of it escapes me right now. It's
Is
from
it
the
Cell Block
2010.
D?
No. There's a storyline in the comics where Daredevil gets a white costume, because this is the only time that Foggy actually ever died in the comics. Daredevil gets a white costume and basically literally goes to hell
and gets Foggy back.
I hope they adapt this.
I could totally see him going in that direction, and Matt literally going to hell to get Foggy back.
Yeah. I would love that, because like Foggy has been in all of the comics since.
Yeah, Foggy's like the one Daredevil character that doesn't die, and the one time he did die, he literally went to hell to bring him back.
I just had the worst thought ever.
Okay.
Multiverse Foggy.
Oh my god! Don't get me.
Oh no.
Although, if it's multiverse Foggy, I want multiverse Matt, and I want King Daredevil.
That'd be cool.
Make him a woman.
Get me?
Make him a woman!
Make him a woman!
Make him a woman!
That's too woke for Disney.
Matilda Murdoch. We've talked about the first 10 minutes of the first episode. We're doing great.
No, I feel like his name would be Madeline, or like because it would be Maddie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There do be women called Maddie.
Exactly. And also with episode 1, so also to bring it back on track.
Good luck.
So Foggy dead, and then we skip a whole year, and then now Matt is some hotshot lawyer in a high-rise, beautiful high-rise, mind you. And he's in a hotshot lawyer firm with Kirsten, and I'm like, what happened in that year where he's self-sabotaging all of his relationships? Does he get back in touch with God? Does he go back to church? Is that why he's not going to church as often anymore? Because he lives with that guilt of Foggy being dead, and he's like, I didn't stop that. And then now he takes Foggy everywhere with him. He takes a little card, and I saw a heartbreaking thing on TikTok saying, that's the last thing Matt can feel of him, because obviously he can't see Foggy. So that card is the last thing that he can feel of him, so that's why he takes him everywhere. And I was like, so shoot me with a fucking gun. What is wrong with you? Yeah, so I had to share that with everybody, because if I had to live through it, so does everybody else. Because I'm like, what the fuck you? Fuck you. And then also, Matt being set up with Heather, too. That whole setup was fucking hilarious, and I loved how they did it so much.
No, same. I thought that setup, when they did that setup, I literally told my dad this. When I first saw this, I thought the joke was that his law partner was trying to get him a therapist. Not that she was trying to hook him up. Because then it was like, yeah, I don't date lawyers. I was just sitting there thinking, oh, this is a date. I thought this was forced therapy. Because good God, if anyone needs it, it's Mr. Murdoch.
Yeah.
When Heather was like, I don't date lawyers because they argue all the time, Matt is sitting there just like, let me argue.
Matt immediately like, I want to argue with you about this, actually.
He's like, well, actually, she's like, I see what I fucking mean? You're just about to argue with me right now. And I'm just like, oh, I love them so much already. Because like she matches his game so well. And the last woman I think he has known that really like match his game was Elektra, and the fact that Heather is like keeping up with him. Oh my god, I love her so much.
I love her.
She's adorable. She's never gonna be my number one Matt girlfriend. Elektra will always be number one.
You got
my number one Matt girlfriend will forever be Foggy Nelson, personally.
Yes.
That's my number one.
No, that's his wife. That's his wife.
That is his wife. You're right. That's his wife.
Matt's a fucking widow.
Oh god. Yeah, episode 1 is great. All that stuff is great. The Kingpin stuff, the reason my dad wanted to watch this show is because he's like, oh, Vincent D'Onofrio is my favorite actor.
Phenomenal.
But the funny thing was that it went, you watched the old show too, right? He went, no. So I had to find him a fucking recap video, and then he watched the recap video and said, so guess it's only the Daredevil stuff I missed. My dad has watched all of the other Marvel Netflix stuff, all 3 seasons of Jessica Jones, everything Luke Cage, except Daredevil. He's seen
One of the
the
best.
2 seasons of The Punisher, but he didn't watch Daredevil. Love you, Dad.
That's a fake Vincent D'Onofrio fan.
I guess I don't think he was aware the show existed. That's literally the only.
That's so funny.
God
That's
bless
so
my
fucking
father.
funny.
Dad woke up from a coma.
Because like he would love the way that Kingpin beheads a guy on a door.
Oh my God! Like the
think.
first episode, he's like, "I'm going to kill you."
You embarrassed me in front of her.
I just remember watching that at the age of 17. I'm just sitting there, I'm thinking, "Man, this is really different from Age of Ultron."
What got me into Daredevil was because my friend was talking about a girl named Elektra, and I was like, she sounds cool as fuck. Little did I know I would not meet her until season 2, and then I was locked in, and I saw that guy in a fucking tight-ass compression shirt, and I was like, alright, so we're locked in. I'm gonna objectify this man.
Charlie Cox
Not
is
Charlie
a
Cox.
handsome man.
I'm
Matt
not
Murdock, you're right.
objectifying. I'm not objectifying Charlie Cox, so that's my best friend. I can't do that to him. Matt Murdock, however,
That's a different person.
that's a different person.
Kingpin is great. Everything's great. Kingpin's running for mayor. James Gandolfini's kid is in this. There's a lot going on, but episode 1 is great. I love the ending where Matt's just standing there and he's listening to the city fucking fall into chaos, and he hears a woman calling for help and the red lights flashing on him, and he's like, I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
And then the pure white light
on Kingpin.
On Kingpin. That stylistic choice was so excellent. Like with the angelic lighting on Kingpin, saving the city and looking down to people like he's like some sort of god. And then you have Matt on the ground level looking up like he's the devil from hell, literally. And he's like looking up into a general direction. All this red flashing light is just like on him, and it was like, what a beautiful stylistic choice.
It looked
gorgeous.
Great. It looked great.
Kevin Feige, take notes. Style is not bad.
Style is not bad. No, I agree. Even though if I could say, if I may, one tiny negative thing, do think the show does not look nearly as good as the Netflix show did. It still looks good. It looks good, but it's not nearly as good, I think. And I think that's kind of just what MCU stuff looks like now.
Yeah, I think that's just like what we have. Like we win some, we lose some. So I think that's like the loss that we have to take. That it got Disney Plusified.
Yeah, I got the show
Disney
back,
Plusified.
and it doesn't look like total dog shit. So it's fine. It looks good for the most part. My only issue is just like a couple of scenes. I'm like, not using lights, are we?
Yeah. But also, I like some of the stylistic choices where they're not using lights, like in the hallways.
Oh no, same.
It shows you Matt's perspective that he really can't see, and he's fighting in the dark, and then
so good
that throws off Bullseye's rhythm, and he's like, well, fuck, I need lights to see, and Matt's like, ha, I don't.
Yeah, fuck you.
I'm blind, bitch.
Yeah, it's good. It's like my one critique is that the show doesn't look as great as it could at times.
That's incredibly fair.
I'm still not sure I fully understand the decision to go anamorphic, other than the times where the stylistic thing they did with his sensory stuff was really brilliant. I wish they were doing it more.
Cool. That shit was so cool, and like the spotlight just right on his hair. I was like, okay, so anybody else bricked up here? Just me? Okay.
No, same.
That's the secret cap.
So like, I bricked the fuck up.
I like the way the show looks enough. I just the Netflix Daredevil show looks like perfect.
Oh, it's a perfect show, I fear.
So nothing was ever going to quite match it, but I still like the way it looks. Okay. Is there anything in episode 1 I'm missing before we move on to episode 2? I think we covered all the big stuff.
Oh, wait, Vanessa fully taking over the business and becoming a kingpin herself.
Oh yeah, that was great. I also was a little confused when the show started and I saw Vanessa and I was like, oh, that's weird. She looks exactly the same as she used to. I didn't know they undid her recasting. I was still under the impression she was recast, so that was just like, crazy? God damn, this actress looks a lot like the old one. That's fucking crazy. Where'd they find this lady?
And then you got Fisk walking in with his autistic ass fiddling his fucking hands.
Oh, I love that.
You don't get the right to do that after I told you he was autistic.
Vanessa.
You're just like, Vanessa! I'm like,
going
you fucking...
to run for mayor.
The fucking impression goes hard. I cannot lie. That went crazy.
His Kingpin voice is so fun. It's
so fun.
The key to doing it is just sound like you're about to commit an act of great violence on someone. You just have to sound like you're holding back. That's all you got to do to impersonate his Kingpin voice.
Right.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, that was awesome. Episode 2. Optics. We get some Matt Murdock lawyering action here.
Love it.
Which is cool. We get the White Tiger, which is cool. Sorry, go ahead, James.
No, I love how they also, like, the action scenes and the court scenes are, like, just as fun and exciting to watch. Like,
Just
most
like the
movies,
original
like,
show.
The court scenes, I'm like, yeah, whatever, yeah. But, like, it's actually, like, it's just as thrilling.
One of my favorite scenes with Matt is his opening scene in The Defenders, where he's defending that disabled kid.
Yes,
and
excellent. I
just,
texted you during that. I was like, this is so fucking good.
Where the camera zooms on him and he goes, "What do you mean?" And now everybody's memeing that, which is so funny to me. But when that whole monologue is brilliantly done, and it's just, oh god, it's just so perfect. And I love seeing Matt as a lawyer and really getting to know him as Matt Murdock and not as both him and Daredevil. It's just like really focusing on his Matt side, which I love. I have a soft spot for Matt Murdock.
Yeah, no, same. It's all good. I like how this whole episode is him, like, trying to focus on doing good as a lawyer, trying to live a normal life, even though is increasingly impossible for him. He keeps hearing the call of the devil. I like the scene where him and Kingpin talk in a diner, because the entire time him and Kingpin are practically borderline yelling at each other. And I'm just sitting here thinking, there's someone like 2 booths behind Matt. You're telling me they ain't hearing this shit? Like, I'm just trying to imagine it. I'll play the clip here. They're not that far from this conversation happening. There's like other diners in the restaurant. I'm just sitting here thinking, if they're even remotely listening, it's just like,
wait, also I think that was
Daredevil.
an episode.
Is that episode 1?
Episode 1. That was episode 1.
They all blend together. There's
There's two.
But I do agree with the diner scene because, like, yeah, like you said, I'm like, what do you mean you're yelling? They're like, what about you being a vigilante? And I'm just like,
you're a vigilante. And I'm just like, there are
lower
other
your
people in
fucking
here.
voice. Lower your fucking voice.
Everyone else is in here, buddy.
I thought that show was so funny.
Yeah.
I was like, lower your voice. What are you doing?
I do like how Fisk, this episode was more about Fisk for me, though. Mostly about how he has seemingly, quote unquote, changed, at least a little bit. The big scene that stood out to me was when the police commissioner is like, I'm here to resign. And he's just like, I just had a delicious cheesesteak.
Are you sure about that?
And I was, well, when I first saw that, I went, oh, he's going to threaten violence on them. Oh, wait, no, he's just doing normal politician stuff. He's going to reveal the fact you have a child.
So,
not kill it.
To bring it back to the violence part of him, I think he already resorted back to violence. Because remember the guy Adam that Vanessa mentioned?
Oh, yeah, the implied cheating.
Yeah.
Dead
It zoomed in on his hands, and he had bloodied knuckles.
That's
so
a good point.
Adam's already dealt with. He's like, not some other guy fucking laying pipe on my wife. I'm gonna kill you. So I think Adam was already dealt with.
You're sleeping with my Vanessa. I will not be cocked.
So like, I literally think that he already maybe resorted.
That's a good point. I didn't notice the bloody knuckles.
I didn't notice that either until somebody else brought it up, and I was like, wait, because I said previously that I thought Matt was gonna resort to his old side first, but then I was wrong.
I knew Fisk is just up to some bullshit. Like, obviously he's not.
Well, obviously he's up to some bullshit. He's the villain of the show.
Echo did some mystic shit to my forehead, and now I'm better. Like,
oh my god, the way that Mav's like, didn't she shoot you?
Yeah.
I was like, damn. I caught that the second time, and I was like, Echo mention?
Didn't she fucking try to kill you?
I literally
Like,
pointed
yeah,
at the
she
screen
shot you, right? I wish
when
she
Kingpin went
succeeded.
like, I tried to have a mentor. I went,
Hey, I know that. I know that girl.
I know that. I watched that show. It was only me.
I watched it too in one
Oh.
night.
Yeah, I watched it over the course of a couple weeks. I liked it. We're not talking
was
about
fun.
Echo. We're talking about Daredevil, Born Again,
Yeah.
Episode 2, Optics.
White Tiger gets his ass arrested because he accidentally killed a cop. Although it wasn't his. Hey, this might be controversial. It wasn't technically his fault because the guy fell in the subway, and I live in New York City. I take the subway every day to and from work. If somebody got hit by a train or somebody got on the tracks, they would have to halt the entire train service, and then it causes delays at further stations. If somebody got hit by a fucking train on my way to work, I'm finding that guy, and I'm my entire day is fucked up. So like that was like my first instinct. I'm like, this guy just got hit by a fucking train, and now my entire day is fucked up.
The primary thing for me about this episode, beyond Matt doing more lawyering, which I do love when Matt doing a lawyering, was the ending when, you know, he saves the witness. He saves the witness, and then he's just like, don't do this, don't do this. And he's like saying, don't do this for one, like, don't do this because you're going to get your ass handed to you. But also, don't do this. I don't want to do violence anymore.
He was talking to those guys and also himself.
Literally, it was kind of nice.
He's been clean from violence for over a year now.
Yeah.
And then now he has a gun to his head, and he's like, fuck, I get the devil has to come out, I guess.
It's
And
devil
the devil
time.
came out. It's devil time.
It's devil time.
He came out. I remember when he daredeviled all over them and said, "It's deviling time."
Oh my god. Yeah, so like him resorting back to violence, and then that guttural scream at the end of it. Oh my god.
So
One,
good.
That was
I just
total
know
like addict that just relapsed, being like, "Oh fuck, I just relapsed."
I just
Yeah.
relapsed. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm so curious to see like what they're gonna do like violence wise, because like we already got two violent scenes. Both were choreographed, I think, relatively well. I like the second one a little bit better because it's like Matt, and like you see his eyes, which I really liked, because you see when he's wearing his cowl, you don't see his eyes when he's actually like being insane. So to see his eyes, like when he did like those crazy eyes, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, no,
So
he's like
I'm
going
silent.
beast mode. He's going, yeah.
That shit was fucking crazy. I was like, I bricked.
Brick. I will say the editing of that scene had to grow on me a little bit. When I first watched it, I was just like, stop fucking cutting. I can't tell what's going on.
Yeah. Well, you know, like Charlie's 42. He can't really do
I get
like,
it.
a lot
There's only so
anymore.
much you can do. There's only so much you can do. I get it. But I was just sitting there like, oh my God, what is happening? I can't tell. But then
Like,
I read a tweet. Someone said it's like, it's fast, it's choppy, like the rush out of an addict getting high again. And I went, okay, I kind of appreciated it from that perspective.
Yeah, I saw that too. And I was like, I like how they worded that. And I was like, that's really, really fucking cool. And I'm like, Daredevil fans are such fucking geniuses when it comes to thinking of this shit. Because like, I would have never thought to think that, like, oh, like the editing is kind of shitty. But someone's like, well, it's like if an addict is relapsing and it's about like the choppiness and the high, and be like, well, I kind of fucking regret doing that. And I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, fuck, you got me there. I'm like, that's so smart of you and big brain. God damn it.
James, what did you think of the fight?
Sorry.
Listen, the fight, the break arm fight, correct?
Yeah, the end of episode 2.
Yeah, fucking excellent. I mean, I still haven't rewatched that. I've just kept rewatching the first episode, mainly the first 10 minutes, over and over again.
He's trying to get himself to cry all the tears out.
No, I don't need any help with that. But I was rewatching the beginning of the second today, so I will have better insight after this is posted, which is wonderful. But like, it hasn't really stuck with me as well. I mean, a lot of the fights from the original really stick with me, and the fights haven't really stuck with the hallway fight in the first episode is definitely one that's gonna stick. But like again, the choppiness, like a lot of it, it just doesn't feel like the same style fights that we're used to in the one. Again, like it's impossible not to compare it to the original, but there's things have to be different now. Like it's physically everyone's different, but it's being choreographed by the same crew and everything, so like it's still the same fights, it's just not being shot as the same as it used to be. So well, I enjoyed it. The fighting scenes, I remember me and Haley went to a viewing in or screening rather. Yeah, we went to a funeral. Foggy. We went to a screening in Brooklyn, and the whole crowd like gasped at the break and like the scream, and like it just went dead silent as soon as they cut to black, and it was just it was just really intense and good environment to watch it, and it definitely enhanced it. But I definitely have to rewatch it.
When I met the cast after, I went up to Eldon immediately, and I just go, "Great job dying." I shook this man's hand, and I said, "Great job dying."
And then he started crying. No, I'm kidding.
He laughed at me, and he goes, "Thank you so much." And I go, "You're welcome." I go, "I cannot believe they did that shit to you." 10 minutes into the first fucking episode. I go, "I almost cried, but I didn't because I'm not wearing waterproof mascara. But let it be known, my eyes were fucking misty. My eyes were misty. I couldn't bring myself to cry. Like I was in shock. Like do you know like when you get the news that like somebody has passed away and you can't form tears because you're like in that shock of
you're just like in total shock. No, I've definitely been there.
Yeah, where you're just like you can't produce any emotion. That's how I felt when Foggy died. And then I got more choked up when him and Karen were talking at the court.
Yeah.
That's what got me. That's what really got me. Because I'm like, damn, these two baddies are self-sabotaging each other. And it's so sad to see. And then I just like sat there in silence after the end of episode 2. So I was just like, hey, so the devil's back. And I just go, are you seeing this shit? Are you seeing this shit? I was like, oh my God. So I'm really excited to see like what the next episode entails. Like I really don't know if I have any predictions. I want to say it's just going to be more about like the White Tiger trial and that whole thing, because like obviously like the Punisher logo was shown too.
Oh yeah, I saw that and I went, oh cool, they're going to address dipshit cops that think Frank would like them.
Exactly. And I fucking love that direction that they're going in, and all the cops are going to be like, is this fucking play about us? And I was like, it was always about you. Hey, always has been.
Stop.
Always has been.
Always has been.
Always has been.
When I saw that, that's such like a good like stylistic choices. Literally drop a bomb every time I use the word stylistic. It's my new word of the day. But seeing that was like, oh, so that's a direction that we're taking this in. And the fight that Matt is gonna fight to get Hector a fair trial I'm really excited to see that too. Same.
No, it's gonna be great.
I want more Lawyer Matt.
I'm thinking we're gonna get a lot more Lawyer Matt. Honestly, it sounds like the original version of the show was a whole lot of Lawyer Matt.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was the first 4 episodes they shot before they kind of revamped. So
yeah,
we can kind of see that in the next 2 episodes when they drop what. And then I imagine it's gonna be drastically different in the 5th episode. Like I feel like it's gonna be, you're gonna be able to tell.
I feel like they're gonna pull like what Taylor Swift does when she does a track 5 on her albums. Is they're gonna do episode 5 and they're just gonna drop that bomb. And I think that's when we're gonna see the suits again.
I could see that.
Yeah, suits.
Yeah,
I'm excited for.
I think if we get like a montage of like Matt picking out like the different suits and like flashbacks of him using that suit, if I get a live action Shadowlands suit, oh my God, I'm going to my non-existent rooftop of my building and I'm screaming on top of there because I will be so excited. That's my favorite suit. That's my favorite suit in the comics. It's so
That's
fucking
the one Ramel
cool.
wears, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
I love it.
Romel's suit, I think it's slightly different than the Shadowland suit, but it's like very similar.
Yeah.
But Chef Kiss, it's so fucking clean. I love it so much.
Oh.
Yeah.
So good.
It's all great. It's all great stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're about a solid 15 minutes past what I wanted us to do this, so I'm gonna have us wrap it up.
All right.
So before I do my outro, our two lovely guests, is there anything you'd like to plug? Haley, how about you? You have anything you want to plug?
Sure. So you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It's all roughly about the same names. Haley spelled HAILEE .1997 or .97, depends on what platform. Twitter, I'm Hales 1997 because Haley was taken. Yeah, you can find me on all those platforms. I shit post about Daredevil 95% of the time.
That's true. Ever since I followed her on Twitter, literally every time I see Daredevil on my feed, I'm like, who posted? Okay,
right. Right.
James, you want to plug your usuals?
Yeah, I mean, mostly Instagram, James the Nerd with 2Ds. Twitch is kind of dead right now, but same thing with 2Ds. I'll be back in July. You'll see me before then. So
he'll just stream randomly every now and again. We love him for it.
Yeah.
And that's it for Bomb Squad Born Again, episode 1. If you're listening on any of the audio platforms we're on, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. How about you leave us a review? It boosts us in the algorithm or something like that. I'm not a lawyer. Wink, wink. If you are listening, how about you mosey on down over to our Patreon, where the $5 tier gets you access to commentary tracks. And on the subject of this very show, very soon we are releasing one for the 2003 Daredevil movie. Woo, baby.
Oh, fuck. Wait. Promo.
It's already been recorded. It's already been recorded.
No, the commentary track we did. Promote it.
And also Swiss Army Man.
Yes.
That just came out.
That's what I can plug.
That's I was just trying to stay relevant to the subject at hand. But the $5 tier gets you access to commentary tracks, and the $10 tier gets you a shout out. So, Tanya Kraft, my mother, thank you so much for contributing to the Bomb Squad Productions YouTube channel. We really appreciate it. And if you are watching this on YouTube, thank you oh so very much for watching. How about you mosey on down over to the comment section below and let me know, what did you think of episodes 1 and 2 in Daredevil? Are you a big fan of the original show? Do you think they're nailing the tone balance so far? What do you which of the 2 episodes is your favorite? And finally, Charlie Cox's hairline receding, yes or no? Comment below and let me know. And while you're down there, hit the like button so you know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so you know how much you love us. And hit the bell icon to know exactly when we upload videos. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing more of these. Definitely with James. It will be fun. Daredevil. We'll see you then. Bye.
I slid my ticket across the table and I said, "Sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl."